be honest, it's very clear that there's still a long way to go, right? I think it can be the holy grail that we are looking for to accelerate the entire development. And as it has been said before during one of the sessions that we have been listening to, I think no single entity or no single company has the full power that is being required to push things in the right speed forward that it actually should be. So we need to join forces, and open source is obviously the vehicle to do that. And if we look at automotive overall, I mean, they all have the same problem. Why should we reinvent the wheel over and over again? And we also see, if you look from a European perspective, or maybe even from a German perspective, we see that the competitors are quite outside. So even under this perspective, it doesn't make sense that BMW, Mercedes, Audi, whosoever, do everything on their own. That's my personal opinion. So I think it would be really, really good if we progress further in this direction, bundle our forces, use open source as the proper tool to bring the things that we need together and all our competencies, all our talents working on this one thing. What is required? I think the important thing is it should not come from one house. So if, for example, one OEM is driving that, the other ones would be like, no, it's their platform, we better don't join that. It must be run by a consortium or a neutral party, because otherwise the others would be quite hesitant to join. At the very end, it's not a technical problem, of course. It's more like a cultural problem and a mindset problem, and it requires all the people being involved to really also understand the benefits of open source and the business model behind and what is in for them. And this is something where they are still, saying, to some extent at least, lacking experience. And this is a mindset change and a cultural change that we need to trigger so that people are more open to go into this direction. That's a very interesting question, actually a weird one, because this does not match my perception. I mean, I know where this is coming from, but if you look at that from a logical point of view, open source, if you do it right, it's being many smart people coming together, and it solves a lot of problems. It solves, for example, the problem that you rely on one party. So let's assume you have a component that is super crucial for you, but it's being a proprietary component, it's being developed by one party. This is something that brings you at risk, because what happens if this party vanishes from the market for whatever reason? But if there's a strong community behind, if there are 10 parties behind, right, it doesn't matter so much if one gets lost. I mean, we don't want this to happen, of course, but you have more power and you have less dependency on just one player. That's the first point. And since all these players bring in all their smartness, all their experience, you have more than just a 4-eye principle, you have a billions of eyes principle looking at all the development. And this, of course, is a very powerful mechanism to make sure that the smartest people in this domain look at the code and make it as safe as it can be. And just because it's not always a commercial thing, and the proprietary thing, I don't think that means it's less quality. The opposite is the truth. It's the smartest people working from intrinsic motivation together to bring forward the best possible result that we can have. So I don't buy this statement. I know I've heard it often, but I don't buy it. It's interesting that you asked me that, because I've been working for a very long time in the startup business. And if you look at how innovation works, it's interesting. Some people say, oh, innovation is usually this one person having this eureka moment, right? You are under your shower, you are waking up in the morning, then you have this eureka moment, and then you have innovation. But this is not how it works. Innovation happens and it's even from a psychological point of view, innovation happens in our brain. It happens when neurons fire in sync, and if they build configurations that have never been there before. And if you want to have these configurations, what you need to do is you need to bring together people that have different backgrounds, people from different cultures, people working in different domains. Diversity is key in that scenario. And again, open source, the open source community does exactly that. It brings together people from different companies with different backgrounds, with different expertise, and this is what in the end will fuel innovation. It's the best approach that you can go for if you really have understood how innovation works, to push it forward.